Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Deva Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Raka Srila Deva Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Dandavat pranams. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Morning Readings. Bamdeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamscha Oma Jnanati Mirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Amcha kalpatarvyascha kripasindhuvyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahabhatanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishna Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Name Gaurad Vishen namaha. Brindaya tulasi deviyai priyayai kesavasya cha Krishna Bhakti Pradi Devi Satyavatya Namo Namaha. Sakala Vaishnava Parimona Namaskar Ite Kichwa Paradana Hukamara Oi Jachen Oi Ben Prabhu Jakta Bhakta Jan Bandana Koriyami Sabar Charanam. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sari Shri Gaura Bhaktavrindam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shivandana ki Jai. Srileka Didi is feeling jet lagged because she just got back from Thailand a couple days ago. So while she is recovering, we will read some. We'll read the scriptures to please the Vaishnavas, to please Mahaprabhu, and for all spiritual practice and benefit. Today we're going to read Śikṣāṣṭakam, and after that, we will try to finish Centenary Anthology, which we've been reading the past 3 weeks. And we're almost there. And each day, the readings of Centenary Anthology were getting better and better. So, alright. Jai Shri Śikṣāṣṭakam ki Jai. Let's start with song number 1. All right. Cheto darpanam arjanam babamaha davagni nirvapanam shayakairava chandrika vitaranam vidyabhathu jivanam Anandan Bhuri Bardhanam Pratipadam Purnamritasvaranam Sarvadma Snapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Let's read the translation of the first verse of the Śikṣāṣṭakam. By the way, these are the only verses that Mahaprabhu himself wrote for us. So let's pray to Gurudev. Maybe something might be revealed to us. Maybe we might understand something. Jai Gurudev, Jai Srila Guru Maharaja, Jai Srila Gurudev. The holy name of Krishna cleanses the mirror of the heart and extinguishes the fire of misery in the forest of birth and death. As the evening lotus blooms in the moon's cooling rays, the heart begins to blossom in the nectar of the name. And at last the soul awakens to its real inner treasure, a life of love with Krishna. Again and again, tasting nectar, the soul dives and surfaces in the ever-increasing ocean of ecstasy, ecstatic joy. All phases of the self which we may conceive are fully satisfied and purified, and at last conquered by the all-auspicious influence of the holy name of Krishna. Parambi Jayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. That's the goal. That's the victory of Harinama Sankirtana. Nectar at every second, at every moment. Now let's read verse number 2. There's also the song made by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So let's read the English for the song as well. Lord Gauranga, whose complexion is golden and who is the deliverer of the fallen souls of Kali Yuga, sings as follows. Oh no, I'm going to start again. I didn't read it properly. I got confused. Lord Gauranga, whose complexion is golden and who is the deliverer of the fallen souls of Kali Yuga, sings as follows, overwhelmed with spiritual ecstasy. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It thoroughly cleanses the mirror of the heart, and it is the delight of the soul. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It extinguishes the forest fire of material existence and removes all material tribulations. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It appears like the moon in the heart and distributes its cooling moonlight, making the white lotus of the soul's good fortune blossoms and bloom. Krishna Kirtan is the Bhakti Vilasa, the beautiful pastime of devotion. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It reveals one's pure identity in relationship with the Lord, even up to divine consorthood. This chanting is the real perfection of life. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna Kirtan causes the ocean of ecstatic joy to overflow. It is an inundation of divine love. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Krishna Kirtan gives one a taste of fully satisfying nectar at every step. Ultimately, it bestows ecstatic love of Godhead. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of Krishna. It bathes the soul of Bhaktivinoda. This chanting is a storehouse of love of Godhead. Jai Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jai. Jai Krishna Kirtan ki Jai. Please forgive me, dear devotees. I went some flu, so it's difficult to focus with this cough. You know what? We were planning on reading all the verses of the Śikṣāṣṭakam this morning, but I think we need some illumination from our guardians. So we're gonna read only verse number 1 this morning, and we're gonna read the illumination by Srila Srila Maharaj. Yes, please, Didi. So Rajamohini Didi is finding the illumination of the Śikṣāṣṭakam verses by Srila Guru Maharaj. Thank you, Didi. Jai. Jai, the golden volcano of divine love. Ki Jai. Jai, His Divine Grace, Swami Srila Bhaktiraka Shiradev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. So let's go ahead and read the illumination. That probably I can pull it up here in the transmission too. Golden Divine. Here it is. 141, I guess. Let's see. Okay, so I have it over here. Boom. Jai. So we're going to read the illumination of the first verse of the Śikṣāṣṭakam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the pioneer of Sri Krishna Sankirtana. He said, I have come to inaugurate the chanting of the holy name of Krishna, and that name will reach every nook and corner of the universe. Prithivite achayata nagaradi grama sarbatra pracharahaive mora nama. What is the meaning of Sankirtana? Samyak means full, and Kirtana means chanting. Together, these two words from the word Sankirtana, which generally means congregational chanting of the holy name of Krishna. But Samyak means full not only in quantity, but also in quality. Full quantity means extensive in number, congregational. Full quality means complete praise. Complete praise can only mean the glorification of Krishna, and not any other gods. So Sankirtana means complete Kirtana, a song in praise of the complete whole, the absolute truth. Anything else is only a partial representation, and therefore defective to a certain extent. Therefore Krishna should be praised. His glories should be chanted, for he is everything. He is the master, the dispenser of both good and bad, and the absolute controller of everything. Everything is due to him. The fulfillment of all life is reached in him alone. Just as a horse may have reins to check his movements, but if let loose will run freely, praise, which is unchecked by any mundane purpose, will run straight towards the supreme cause, Krishna. The word Shri means Lakshmi Devi, Krishna's potency. This means that in Sankirtana, Krishna is worshipped along with his potency, for Krishna's potency is included within him. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Sri Krishna Sankirtana should thrive throughout the world. It should be victorious without any hindrance. Param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. It should be spontaneous, unchecked, and natural flow. It should be exclusive, independent, and without reservation. And this praise of Krishna should be congregationally chanted. That vibration is beneficial for the whole world. Only by surrender and pure dedication can we take to Krishna, to Sri Krishna Sankirtana. Srila Guru Maharaj is saying that there's a step before taking Krishna Sankirtana. He says, only by surrender and pure devotion can we take to Sri Krishna Sankirtana. cleansing the mirror of the mind. What are the different stages through which we will pass while chanting the holy name of Krishna? The first stage is that it cleanses the mirror of the mind. If the mirror of the mental system is covered with dust, we cannot see things clearly, and scriptural advice cannot be properly reflected there. What are the different kinds of dust covering the mirror of the mind? Our infinite, fleeting, unorganized desires are considered dust, and our hearts and minds are covered with layers of this dust. Therefore, we cannot see things properly. They cannot properly reflect in our mind because it is covered with the infinite ordinary desires of this mundane world. Bhukti mukti siddhi kami sakali ashanta. So the first effect of Sri Krishna Sankirtan is a cleansing of the mind. The Vedic social system, Varnashram Dharma, has been formed for this purpose. If we discharge our social duties perfectly, without any attraction for the consequences, we achieve purification of our consciousness. But the first installment of Nama Sankirtan gives us the end result of Varnashram Dharma, purification of the heart and mind. Then we can understand Vedic advice properly. The next effect of chanting the holy name is that it extinguishes the fire of material existence in the forest of repeated birth and death. We are forced to come into creation and again die. The mundane wave catches the soul, which mingles with that vibration in different stages. That is stopped by the second effect of Sri Krishna Sankirtana, and we become liberated. With the first stride, the intelligence is purified. With the second stride, the holy name effects liberation from the great conflagration of threefold miseries. The threefold miseries are Adhyatmika, miseries within the body and mind, such as disease and mental anxiety. Adibhautika, miseries from our neighbors, men, beasts, insects, and so many other living beings. And the third misery, Adidaivika, natural catastrophes like famine, flood, and earthquake. We have to suffer from these three kinds of miseries, which burn in our heart like fire. But everything is extinguished forever by the second stride of Nama Sankirtan, which gives us relief. And what was the second stride? The holy name effects liberation from the great conflagration of threefold miseries. But before the second stride, there is a first stride, and that is the cleansing of the mind, as Srila Guru Maharaj is illuminating here. The supreme goal of life. The next stage is Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam. The holy name bestows upon us the supreme goal of life. After doing away with these two negative engagements, our positive engagement begins and ultimately takes us to reality, to the real truth, which is eternal, auspicious, and beautiful. It takes us to that auspiciousness which is above this world of difficulty, and in a general way, we achieve the supreme goal, the highest auspiciousness, the greatest good from chanting the holy name of Krishna. If we analyze this scrutinizingly, we find that in this stage, the holy name takes us to an intimate personal relationship with Krishna, which includes neutrality, servitude, friendship, and filial affection. Shantadasya, Sakya, and Vatsalya Rasa. Shreya covers the grace of Nityananda Prabhu, for it is by his grace that we may be allowed to worship Radha and in Krishna in Vrindavan. Nitaya Karuna Have Braja Radha Krishna Pape. The next stage is Bidha Badu Jivanam. The holy name prepares us for the wholesale surrender to Krishna that is found in conjugal love, Madhura Rasa, where the devotees surrender themselves infinitely at the disposal of Krishna. The next stage is Anandam Puri Vardhanam. When we come to the proper level while chanting the name of Krishna, we find the transcendental ocean that is above all sorts of experience. The name comes to assert himself over us according to the degree of our surrender. And when our surrender is complete, we feel a new type of ecstatic joy. We experience an infinite ocean of joy, which is not static, but always dynamic. There we find new life and a new type of blissfulness. It never becomes stale or static, but at every moment gives us a taste of the infinite ocean of ecstasy. Complete self-purification. The last effect is that our entire existence is purified. This kind of enjoyment does not pollute, it purifies. Enjoyment means exploitation. Mundane enjoyment creates a reaction and pollution attacks the enjoyer. But here, because Krishna is the aggressor, the result is purification. All enjoyment that comes from the center, from the autocratic desire of Krishna, purifies us completely. In this verse, the words Sarpadmasnapanam mean that all different phases of the self which may be conceived are fully satisfied and purified at once by chanting the holy name of Krishna. And there is another meaning of Sarvatmasnapanam. If we praise Krishna congregationally, we will be purified according to our capacity. Both the singer and the audience, as well as anyone who comes in connection with the transcendental sound, will be purified. Snapanam means purifying. That vibration purifies everyone and everything that comes in touch with it. So Mahaprabhu says, go on with Sankirtana, the congregational chanting of the holy name of Krishna. Of course, Sankirtan must be genuine, so association with saints is necessary. It is not an empirical attempt. We are attempting to have a connection with the higher, unconditioned realm which can descend to help us here. We must have that connection with higher reality, for that is all important. The holy name of Krishna is not mere physical sound. It is not lip deep only, but it has a greater and higher aspect. Namaskara Bhairayat Bhatteta Bhunameka Bhunaya. It is all spiritual. We're in the marginal plane of existence, so some higher connection is necessary, in order that the wave will descend from that higher realm and come to us and spread its influence outside as well. Wherever it goes, the Sankirtan of the holy name of Krishna will produce these sevenfold results. This is the purport of Mahaprabhu's first verse. The first effect is that the holy name cleanses the soul, which is attacked by the dirt of desires from the mundane world. Srila Guru Maharaj is giving a conclusion here, a recap of what are the effects of the holy names of Krishna on the soul. The first effect is that the holy name cleanses the soul, which is attacked by the dirt of desires from the mundane world. And we just read from Srila Guru Maharaj that mundane enjoyment just brings pollution and suffering to the enjoyer. But interestingly enough, when we enjoy through Krishna, the effects are all the opposite. They are purifying. By the second effect, it gives mukti, liberation, perfect independence from material forces. The third effect brings real fortune, the opening of the soul's treasure. The innate resources of the soul are gradually awakened by the holy name of Krishna. Here Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu includes the other forms of relationship with the personal absolute. In describing the next step, he takes the mood of conjugal devotion, where one is absolutely disposed for Krishna's enjoyment, unconditionally surrendering everything for his maximum pleasure. Dandavat Prabhuji, Biman Krishna Prabhu. How are we doing today? Alright, let's keep reading. Srila Guru Maharaj, Jaya. I need millions of mouths. The next effect is tasting. Is the tasting of his ecstatic association in Vrindavan, the realm of Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. And we're seeing here a picture of Sri Krishna with his flute, and then a little legend below. It says, Krishna's flute. The sound of Krishna's flute has the great mystic power of capturing and pleasing everyone and everything. The next effect is the tasting of his ecstatic association in Vrindavan, the realm of Krishna. One who can chant the name of Krishna properly will express himself with a peculiar sort of ego. It's interesting, there's still ego, but with a peculiar sort of ego, we will express ourselves. If one day we can chant the name of Krishna properly. So what is this expression of this peculiar sort of ego? Tumde tanda binira timbitanute tundaban li labdaye. Karna kroda kadam bini gatayate karnar buddhebhya spriham. Chitta prangana sangini vijayate sarvendri janam kirtim. No jane janita kiyat bhir amirthai krishneti barna dibayi. When the holy name of Krishna appears on the lips of a devotee, it begins madly dancing. Then the name takes over and handles him as if the person to whom the lips belong loses all control over his lips. And the devotee says, with one mouth, how much can I gather the ecstasy of the holy name? I need millions of mouths to taste its unlimited sweetness. I will never feel any satisfaction by chanting with only one mouth. When the sound Krishna enters the ear, he feels that transcendental sound awaken in his heart. What are 2 ears? He thinks. This is the greatest injustice of the Creator. I need millions of ears. Then, if I could hear the sweet name of Krishna, my heart might be a little satisfied. I want millions and millions of ears to hear the sweet name of Krishna. This is the temperament of a devotee when his attention is drawn towards the holy name. Then he faints. He loses himself, merging in an ocean of ecstasy and joy. And in great disappointment he says, I failed to understand the quality and quantity of the substance of Krishna's name. I am perplexed. What sort of honey sweetness does this name contain? In this way, the chanter of the name wonders. Krishna's mystic flute song. This has been taught to us by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who said, properly chant the holy name, the sound representation of absolute sweetness. That sweetness is also to be found in the flute song of the Lord. The sound of Krishna's flute has a great mystic power of capturing and pleasing everyone and everything. Upon hearing the sound of Krishna's flute, the Yamuna's current is paralyzed. The sweet sound of Krishna's flute attracts the trees, the birds, and the beasts. Everything is astounded by contacting the sweet vibration from Krishna's flute. Sound vibration can work miracles. Sound has the highest capturing potency. Sound can make or mar. It can do anything. It has such intrinsic capacity. It comes from the subtlemost plane, beyond the ether. That universal sound is absolute sweetness and goodness. How much power is there? How it can capture us? Like a blade of grass, we may be played by the current of that sweet sound in such a way that we cannot even trace out our own personality. We may lose ourselves there, but we do not die. The soul is eternal, diving up and down. We are played by the current of the sweet sound. We are less qualified than a straw and a blade of grass. And the Krishna sound is so big and so sweet that it can play us in any way it likes. We cannot begin to conceive how much power is in the name, the sound which is identical with absolute goodness and sweetness. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, don't neglect the sound which is one and the same with Krishna. Absolute sweetness and goodness, everything is there within the holy name. And the holy name is representing itself to us in a very cheap way. Nothing is required to purchase it. No money, no physical energy. All these things are unnecessary. What is required? Sincerity. One who simply takes his divine sound sincerely will be so enriched that no one will be able to conceive of so much goodness and development. And anyone may have it very cheaply, but one must chant sincerely with his whole heart. Of course, wholehearted sincerity presupposes going to a proper agent, a saint, and getting the holy name from him. Sri Krishna Sankirtana is praised by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the inaugurator of the Sankirtana movement who came as Radha Govinda combined. His advice is most valuable and necessary, to tell us that with a sincere spirit we must come to join this Sri Krishna Sankirtana, the most purifying transcendental sound, which effects liberation, gives all fulfillment, and grants us such a positive attainment that we lose ourselves in the ocean of joy and inconceivable sweetness. This is Sriman Mahaprabhu's grace, and he proclaims, let Sri Krishna Sankirtan be expanded into this mortal world, that it may benefit everyone infinitely, for this is the highest and greatest benefit for the whole world. It is all comprehensive. It releases us from all sorts of troubles. establishing us in the highest position of attainment. And in this present degraded age of Kali, only Nam Sankirtan can help us. Of course, Nam Sankirtan is beneficial in all ages, but it is especially recommended in Kali Yuga, because in this age, all other attempts will be opposed by many forces. Nama Sankirtana cannot be opposed by the troubles and waves of this material world, so one must adopt it. If we exclusively give ourselves to this, we will gain the highest fulfillment of life. There is no necessity of any other campaign, for they are all defective and partial. But the most universal, captivating, and beneficial thing is Nama Sankirtana, which take us to the highest goal. That alone can satisfy everyone. All souls that are now disconnected from Krishna may be helped in this way. No other movement is necessary. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells us, exclusively devote yourself to this. It is all embracing and all fulfilling, and you can achieve it with the least trouble and least energy. Let it flourish in this Kali Yuga. Let it flourish for the welfare of the whole universe, to re-establish all souls in their normal position. In the last verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, the conclusion of the book is given as follows. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanas Tam Namami Harim Param. Papa means all anomalies, all undesirable things. Sin. Material enjoyment and liberation are also included as anomalies, sinful activities. Why is liberation considered sinful? Because it is an abnormal condition. Our natural function is to serve Krishna, but we do not do that in salvation. Mere salvation does not include service to Krishna. So that is an abnormal position, and therefore it is also a sin. To ignore our natural duty and stand aloof cannot but be sinful. The spiritual gift of Vyasa. The concluding verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam says, Krishna's holy name can relieve us from all undesirable sinfulness, all filthy characteristics, and all miseries. Let us all bow down to him. Uttering this verse, the Srimad Bhagavatam stops. That great treatise becomes silent. The last word in the Bhagavatam is Nama Sankirtan. The Bhagavatam has given such great importance to chanting the holy name of Krishna, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu developed it from there. The last publication of the compiler of Vedic literatures, Srila Vyasadeva, took Taisim to that stage and gave it to the public, announcing, chant the name of Krishna, do this, nothing more is necessary, take this. This is the very conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam, the greatest spiritual gift of Vyasadeva. Chant the holy name of Krishna and begin your life in this dark age with the most broad and wide theistic conception. Nectar of the nectarine. We may consider ourselves fortunate that we have come to the verge of this most generous and useful thought, that we have come close enough to touch it, to accept it, and float ourselves in its waves according to our capacity. After passing through so many conceptions and the charm of different prospects, we have left them all behind and have come to the shore of the ocean of Nama Sankirtan. Now we may throw our bodies in this ocean and begin to swim in the waves of Nama Sankirtan, the nectar of the nectarine, by the grace of our Guru and the mercy of the Vaishnavas. It is their property, and we are their slaves. We have such audacity to throw our body into this ocean of Nama Sankirtan, and swim in that nectarine ocean. And we can see a picture, an illustration of Sanatana and Rupa Goswami, the dearmost associates of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when they're chanting in their Japamala. Swimming in Radha Kunda, the highest conception of a spiritual attainment, can also be found in the highest form of Nama Sankirtana. This verse represents the positive side of the unlimited ocean of Sri Krishna Sankirtan. The next verse explains the negative possibilities. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given his Sanskrit commentary on the Śikṣāṣṭakam, as well as his Bengali translation, and his is a most original presentation. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada has also given his commentary on the Śikṣāṣṭakam. They should be carefully studied in order to understand these points more completely. In these talks, however, I am simply coming out with whatever I feel in my heart. Whatever comes to my mind on these verses, I am expressing, and that is the outcome of what I have collected from Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all the predecessor acharyas. By their grace, that is gathered in my storehouse, and I am trying to give the gist of these things. Oh, thank you. I'm trying to give the gist of these things. Jaya. We're reading the commentary of the first verse of the Śikṣāṣṭakam, written by Mahaprabhu himself, and the illuminations are coming from the Golden Volcano of Divine Love by Srila Maharaj, our Srila Guru Maharaj. Wow, there's so much substance in the commentary of a sadhu, of our gurus. It's definitely worth it to read them. Alright, let's keep going. The Krishna conception conquers all. By accepting the path of devotion, a wholesale transformation of our internal system begins, and gradually our charm for the outside world vanishes. There is a war within, and when the Krishna conception enters into the heart of a devotee, all other thoughts and ideas gradually have to retire. This is explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Pravishta karna randrena. Pravishta karna randrena. Esvanam bhava saroruham. Dunoti shamalam krishnaha. Salilasya yatta sharat. When the autumn season appears, the mud within the water vanishes. In the same way, when the Krishna conception enters into one's heart, all other conceptions and aspirations will gradually have to retire, leaving Krishna in possession of everything. When a real drop of Krishna consciousness enters the heart, all opposing forces must leave, and Krishna will conquer and take possession of the whole. That is the nature of Krishna consciousness. Nothing can stand in competition with it. Not even the so-called devotion for the demigods or faith in creeds like Christianity, Islam, and others. All other conceptions of theism have to retire, leaving the field to the Krishna conception. No aggressors can stand in the fight with Krishna consciousness. The absolute sweet beauty, sweetness, and charm can capture and defeat power. We are really aspiring after beauty and sweetness, mercy, affection, divine love. Prema. Self-dissipation to compensate others with one's energy and generosity ultimately conquers everyone. It is more rewarding to give than to take. Divine love means die to live. Not to live for yourself, but to live for others. The most generous form of life, self-forgetfulness to the extreme, is found in Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is so beautiful that one who develops it loses his own identification and existence also. He becomes totally self-forgetful. Such a charm is there. Who will stand to fight against Krishna? Everyone who comes to fight against him is disarmed. If in any way Krishna enters the heart, there can be no other consequence but that he takes possession of everything. Such a benevolent and generous and sweet person is Krishna. Reality the beautiful. Jai Srila Bhakti Raka Shiradev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai the golden volcano of divine love ki Jai. Jai Śikṣāṣṭakam song number 1 ki Jai. Thank you for the recommendation. It was so worth it.
I didn't recommend anything.
I telling Braja Didi to read the Illumination by Srila Guru Maharaja on the Śikṣāṣṭakam, because we were only going to read them like the verse, but with illumination it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the nectar there.
I got disconnected. Okay. All right, Didi. Are you leaving now? Okay. Dandavat, Didi. Have a beautiful day. Jai Gurudev. Dandavat. So yeah. That is the ideal. And the ideal doesn't sound bad at all. Nectar in every moment. Every phase of ourselves that we may conceive is fully satisfied by the influence of the holy names of Krishna. Self-forgetfulness to the extreme for the service of Krishna. And the more we enjoy for his service, the more purified we get. That doesn't sound bad at all. It actually sounds like a novel and cool. To be honest, cool. Like a badass goal to have. Like real development. Real goal. Real fulfillment. But as Srila Guru Maharaj stated in this chapter, while he was illuminating the verse of the Śikṣāṣṭakam number 1, association with a saint is necessary. Association with a sadhu, association with a representative of that higher realm. By your own empirical attempt, we're gonna go nowhere. So sadhu sangha is always important for those who are taking this path seriously, for those who want to take up this campaign. And one day chants are Padma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. But we indeed need so much guidance and help, because we're in Kali Yuga and we don't even want this gift that Mahaprabhu is giving for free. Mahaprabhu is giving love, the highest divine love, for free, and we don't want to take it. So then the problem is not Mahaprabhu or our community or the world or economical situation. It's just ourselves that we don't want to take it. And thanks to Mahaprabhu, we have Gurudev. Someone who can engage us in real service. And through them we will follow some rules. We have to do some sacrifices, but there's the hard part. I don't understand why it's so hard to sacrifice for someone that actually cares about us. I don't understand, like, what's here? They're telling us in our face that this is it. And it is systematic knowledge. It's scientific. It makes sense, not only intellectually, but in our hearts. It makes sense. This is the path. We're not the enjoyers. Krishna is the enjoyer. And if we see him as the center of everything, then we are seeing reality as it is. And it makes sense. The more we get anxious to serve him, the more we're okay with his will, no matter what happens to us. The more purified we're going to get. But if we just enjoy for our own benefit, more misconception, more reaction, more illusion. And you know what's the funny thing? That we're choosing the second option. So Mahaprabhu is very merciful. He's given us the holy name. He's given us Gurudev. What can we do? I guess just try to be sincere and ask for some help. Jai. Srimad Mahaprabhu ki Jai. So we're going to chant Nama Sankirtan. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Srimadusudana Giridhari Gopinata Madana Mohana Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Chandra Kadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Rupa Sanatana Vata Raghunata Shri Jiva Gopala Bata Dasa Raghunata Echai Gosai Kori Charana Vandana Jaha Hoite Vignana Shavista Purana Echai Gosai Jaramui Taradasa Tasavara Pada Renumura Panchagrasa Tadera Charana Sevi Vaktasanevasa Janame Mora Avilasa Echai Gosai Jave Vraje Koilavasa Shri Shri Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakasa Anande Volo Hari Vaja Vrindavana Shri Guru Vaishnava Pare Majai Jamana Shri Guru Vaishnava Parapadma Koriyasha Harinama Sankirtana Kohe Narotamadasa Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Jai, Jai, Srila Bhakti, Srila Bhakti Raka Gurudev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai, Umishapad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai, Umishapad Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Jai Shri Rupanu Guru Varga ki Jai. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Madhacharya Vrinda ki Jai. Jai, all the assembled devotees that are sincerely are trying to serve their gurus. Ki Jai. All those assembled devotees who are sacrificing their energy for the service of Srimad Mahaprabhu ki Jai. All those merciful senior Vaishnavas and spiritual masters are helping us see reality as it is through sincerity and truth and affection ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission ki Jai. Jai Shripat Sudarshan Prabhu ki Jai. Jai Shrimati Shileka Didi ki Jai. Jai Shripat Nyasi Birhan, Jai Shripat Birhan Nyasi Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Rakishori Didi ki Jai. Jai the devotees of Shokel Ashram ki Jai. Jai all the devotees in Thailand ki Jai. The devotees of Bila Govinda ki Jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Jai the resilience, enthusiasm, patience of the devotees ki Jai. Jai Śikṣāṣṭakam ki Jai. Jai the month of Kartika ki Jai. Mahaprasadam ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Prema Anande Haribo. Jai the mercy of Shri Krishna ki Jai. Dandavat. Pranams. Oh my God, now we. Thank you so much for listening, for being here. It's so much appreciated. And they will know it. They will know that you are here giving your energy and intention, your attention to them. They will remember that. May you have a sincere and beautiful day, and let's try to remember the center. Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Raka Gurudev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai.